Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, college coaches and fans of high school and college football. This is Coach Anthony Williams, founder and CEO of Connected Athletics. We are an exciting new platform for student athletes in high school and college to tell their story, to share their journey about who they are, not just in their sport, but also who they are personally and what their goals are when their sport is all over for them or their eligibility is over. Before we get into our special guest tonight to kick off our 2022 football season, I want to thank our sponsors, Buffalo Wild Wings. Buffalo Wild Wings is as passionate about high school sports as I am, especially here in Texas. They have sponsored this podcast to showcase student athletes in the Houston area of Texas and in the San Antonio area. And the athlete we have tonight is actually from Cypress Woods High School. You'll hear from Myles here in a second. So thank you to Brian Soltis. He's the regional VP of Buffalo Wild Wings, a former high school and college athlete also, who wants to help support and showcase these student athletes as they go through their journey of transitioning from high school to college and then after eligibility into a successful job or into their sport professionally. So with that out the way, thank you, Buffalo Wild Wings. I want to jump in and talk about this young man who's already off to a great season for Cy Woods. Myles West is an athlete who happens to play running back also at Cy Woods High School in Cypress, Texas, in the Houston area. He's class of 23. He has a 3.98 GPA, which I love. We'll talk about here in a second. He's 5'10", 190 pounds. He is a all-academic, all-district player from last year. He is also, you can see there, he's serious about his recruiting. He has his NCAA ID number there, so you can look up all his academics, his test scores, and things like that. So he obviously will be a qualifier. And then you can see his Twitter name there when you want to look him up. Myles, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing great, Coach. How about you?
And I'm doing good, man. I'm excited that the high school football season is finally here and finally excited about having our first guest on the podcast. Let's jump right in here. I know you're busy getting ready for school and practice tomorrow, but Myles, just kind of tell us a little bit about you've played 2 games already. You guys are 2-0. Tell me a little bit about your outlook so far this season after 2 games.
We're off to a really great start. I love the chemistry that we're playing with. I love the intensity that we're playing with. And I really think that we're making some noise so far this season.
Great, awesome. And you play multiple positions. You're obviously a good athlete. Tell us about how you've been putting up some big numbers here in these first 2 weeks.
Just really staying focused on playing my game, playing within myself, staying relaxed, knowing how, playing how I'm supposed to play.
Good. Okay, I like it. Well, let's jump into the most important thing. I'm sure your parents hammered home with you. I'm sure you've heard it from college coaches and myself also. Let's talk about academics. You're sporting their very strong 3.98 GPA, which is going to open up your recruiting to a whole bunch of schools. Tell these coaches about the importance that you put on your academics.
It's just as serious as football, if not more serious. I've always been taught that academics comes before football, and without academics, I wouldn't be playing football. So it's very, very important. I take it very, very serious.
Myles, have you always been a good student, or did something click in you maybe in middle school or when you were a freshman? Or have you always been a good student?
I've struggled in some of my years past, maybe in middle school, but whenever I was a freshman, it really, really set in for me. Yeah, it really set in for me. Whenever I was a freshman, started taking stuff serious.
I like it. And that's for those of you listening. If you're going to be a prospect in any sport, male or female, your freshman year counts. I know a lot of kids come in thinking, oh, I'm just a freshman, I'm not trying to get recruited. And then they get recruited and they look back and that freshman year kills them because they didn't take it that serious and they have season D. So take it from Myles here. Take that freshman year serious. Myles, you're a senior now, in your senior year right now. Do you have an idea what you might want to major in when you do get to college?
Yes, I want to major in business, mainly on the entrepreneurship side and the marketing side as well.
I like it. I like it a lot. Okay. Learning style is important to coaches and teachers and professors in college. Myles, tell these coaches, what type of learning style would you describe? Are you more visual, verbal, or hands-on in your learning style?
I'm definitely in the classroom more visual. I like to see what I'm doing, but on as far as football, I'm a mix of visual and physical. I kind of like to see
Okay.
what I'm doing, see how I'm supposed to go about it.
So can I assume that you are a big film study guy when it comes to the football?
Yes,
Yeah.
sure.
Okay, absolutely. Okay. And then tell us, pretty soon, now we're on the backside of COVID and kind of get back to a normal recruiting cycle. Coaches will be coming into your school to visit, your teachers and see you in the classroom. For those coaches who haven't been to see you in school yet, where are they going to see in you when you're in the classroom? Do you sit up front? How do you interact with your teachers, with your classmates? What are they going to see when they come see Myles West in class this year?
I'm a very attentive student. If I have a question about something, I'll ask. If I didn't catch something, I'll ask one of my classmates around me. If my classmates are having trouble with something, I'll step in and help with it.
Okay, I like it. A leader in the classroom. I like that. Let's switch over to learning more about you personally. Myles, tell us a little bit about your family, mom and dad, or guardians, or your siblings, any other athletes. Give us a little bit of background about the West family.
So my mom and my dad are very, very influential in my life, as well as my grandmother. They hammered home to me whenever I was young that you have to work for everything that you want. So you have to put a lot of effort in. Life is not easy, so you have to really work for what you want.
Okay. Any siblings? Are you the oldest, the youngest? You the only? Where you sit in the sibling side?
No, I'm the only one.
You're the baby, the only baby, so you get everything your way. Okay, I see how it rolls. Okay. Were your parents athletes back in the day?
My father was, but yeah, it was just my father.
Okay, excellent. Tell us, one of my favorite questions, what do you like to do when you're not playing football or working out or practicing? Your homework is done. What does Mom like to do when he does have some free time?
I really like to hang out with my friends, hang out with my family, really bond with my teammates outside of football, get to know them on a personal level. And yeah, I really want to live up this last year of high school. You only get one senior year of high school, so I like to
Yeah,
live that up.
absolutely. Well, and then also, personally, do you have a favorite quote or Bible verse that you'd like to share? What drives you when you're on those days when you don't feel like doing homework or going to practice?
My favorite Bible verse comes from First Corinthians 15:10. It's actually right here. But by the grace of God, I am what I am, and His grace toward me was not in vain. On the contrary, I worked harder than any of them. Not I, but the grace of God that is with me.
I love that verse. That is an outstanding. I've heard a lot of verses from players. That's the first time I've heard that one, and I think it definitely outlines who you are. I love that you share that with us. That's awesome. Myles, tell us a little bit about, I know you're still young, looking forward to going to college, but kind of fast forward 10 years. Whether you have a pro career in the NFL or you're done after college, what do you want your life to look like when you're done playing football? You mentioned being an entrepreneur earlier. What do you want your life to look like?
I would really love to own my own gym and have my own training business so that I can help mentor younger kids and really tell them what it takes to get to where you want to achieve your goals and really let them know that you have to work hard for what you want.
I like it. I like it a lot. And I love that you have a goal in place. Now you just got to make sure it works, man. Football, at the end of the day, is a great enabler for a college education paid for. And so I have a good feeling that you're going to be one of those guys that gets through and makes it successful after sports. Myles, another question that coaches always ask, we always talk about with them when I meet with them, what's your why? On those days when you don't feel like practicing, you don't feel like maybe going to the weight room in the off season or running track or whatever. What motivates you to get up and get that work done? Which separates you as an elite athlete over others who are not?
It's really my love of the game and my passion and drive to compete every single day. Um, I've always had a close connection with this game ever since I was 4 years old. I've been playing since I was four, and you really have to be dedicated if you want to play. If you're playing for that long, you have to be dedicated at a certain point, and sometimes it gets difficult. But I really just focus and know why I started it in the first place, and that's just for my love of competing.
I love that. I love that. That's a great response. Myles, do you have a nickname that your family or your teammates call you? Or you just go by Myles?
Um, One of my teammates called me Deuce the other day, so I think I'm gonna start going by Deuce.
Okay, I like it. Are you a junior, or how did that name come about? How did that nickname happen?
No, I don't know where he got it
Just
from. He
called you
just called
Deuce.
me Deuce.
Okay, all right. Hey, let's switch over here. Last part of the interview here. Tell us more about recruiting. Obviously, you want to play in college. Kind of give us an idea of what are your, and I call it realistic expectations of recruiting. What schools are you interested in, or what conferences, and what's recruiting been like for you so far going into your senior year?
So far, it's been pretty good. I've gotten some interest from the camps that I've gone to so far this year. But what my goals are, I would really love to play at the Division I level, any conference. I don't mind. I'd really love to just play, be able to play and showcase my talent the highest level of football.
Okay. And then tell these coaches to help them better recruit you, Myles. I mean, are you open to leaving the state of Texas? Are you from Texas? To give us a little bit about your background.
Yes, sir. I'm from Texas, born and raised here in Cypress. I don't mind. I don't mind leaving. I like experiencing new things, seeing new things around me. So I'm very open.
Okay, I like it. Myles, one of my other favorite questions is what makes you a great teammate? If I was to ask one of your teammates, if I was talking to Terrence or Dylan and say, hey, tell me about Myles as a teammate, what would they say? What kind of teammate are you?
They would say that I lead by example. I don't really do a whole lot of talking, but if I do need to talk, I will. I'm more of a person that leads by example. I let my work show for me.
Okay, I like it. And as you go into your senior year here, we all have strengths and weaknesses, and I'm sure you're working a lot of them during the offseason here in the summer. But what from a constructive standpoint, what are your strengths as a player right now, and what are some of the things you're working on to get better at?
Well, my strengths are my work ethic and my dedication to learning and getting better every single day. And one of my weaknesses, which is really not really a weakness, is just my drive to win and compete and do so well. It hinders me at times.
Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. That's constructive. I like it. Myles, tell me, you say you've been playing since you're 4 years old, so you understand the importance of team, and more importantly, the concept of trust. Tell us how important it is to you as a player, that trust you must have amongst your own teammates, and then more importantly, the trust you have to have with your coach for late in the game, critical, play, fourth down, whatever. They're going to trust you with the ball. Tell us from your perspective, how important is trust to you as a player?
It's very important to know that the guys in front of me, the guys that are going to be blocking for me or throwing me the ball, are going to run through a brick wall for me, just as I would run through a brick wall for them. It means a lot to me that I have guys that trust me and I trust them as well.
I like it. Perfect answer. Tell us. You already mentioned that you're a big study guy, but tell me, is there a player either in high school or in college or at the pro level that you pattern your game off of? Who's somebody that you go, that's how I want my game to look like? Is there somebody that you kind of look up to?
Yeah, two USC running backs actually, Reggie Bush and Sean Walters,
Okay.
and also a little mix of Ezekiel Elliott, um, Alvin Kamara, some of those guys. I would really watch a lot of film on them.
Okay. I like that. Okay. So you studying those guys, and then what are some of the things you're trying to take from their game and integrate it into yours?
Um, I love how Ezekiel Elliott runs with power and finesse. And I love how versatile Alvin Kamara is, and how he can impact the game in all sorts of ways. He can run, he can catch, he can do it all. As well as Sean Walters, he runs with power. He taught me how to be very, very decisive. And Reggie Bush is just really, really explosive and really, really electric. I like to add that part to my game.
Yeah, absolutely. And then tell me, I saw on your profile, did some research on you. You run track. College coaches love football players that run track. Tell us, are there any other sports you do away from football?
I'd probably be open to trying basketball. That'd probably be the only one, but football's my one. I love
Okay.
that.
And then track, you obviously are you a sprinter? You do the relays. What are your events in track?
I do the 100, the 200, the 4x1, triple jump, long jump, 400, right? All the sprints.
Yeah. And then, as I said, a lot of college coaches love players that compete in track in the offseason. Tell these coaches from your perspective, Myles, how does track help you develop into a better football player?
It helps with my speed. It helps me be a lot fat. It helps me be faster, more explosive, especially when I'm going through the holes, bursting through, having those quick bursts of speed.
Okay. Yep. I like it. That's exactly what you should do, whether you're winning meets or not. It's all about if you're not getting bigger, faster, stronger, then you're getting past. So I love that you understand that already. As a former college coach, I look at your height and weight, 5'10", 190, and without knowing and talking and seeing your parents, how tall are your mom and dad? Because college coaches like to get an idea, like, is this kid going to be somebody who's going to be 6'1", 200 in a couple years, or is he going to stay around 5'10"? Give us a little bit of background about your parents' height and weight.
Well, my dad is about 6'2", and my mom is about 5'4".
Okay.
So it's a little variation. I don't know where I'm gonna end up.
Okay, so and then tell me, 2 years from now, you're in either your redshirt freshman year or your sophomore year in college. What height and weight do you think you'll be at in 2 years after 2 years in a college strength and conditioning program?
Hopefully, I'll be at about 6 foot, 6'1", 220.
Wow.
That'll probably be my desired
Okay.
weight.
I like it. Well, great. Well, Myles, I love the background. You know what we talked about earlier about the Buffalo Wild Wings being a great supporter of high school athletes, especially at Cy Woods there. Tell me about your experience there at Cy Woods. I hear a lot of great things from the Booster Club and the coaches there that I know. Tell us what's your 4-year experience been like at Cy Woods?
It's been great. We kind of had to get used to the adjustment after my sophomore year of the new coaching staff coming in, but we got adjusted really well. I got acclimated to them quickly. I knew them, got a good relationship with them quickly, and now we've developed that trust these past over last year and coming into this year.
Okay. Great. Hey, let's finish up with this. Big, obviously, week 3 coming up for you. Who are you guys playing? Don't give us any insight, too much insight, but kind of what are you looking for, and as you face your opponent going into this week, who are you playing, and what's your game plan going into this week in preparation?
We're playing Cypress this week, and it really depends on our intensity and how long we're really going after.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's going to make the difference.
Okay. And do you see yourself? I watched your video. Very explosive in both the run game. You like to catch the ball in the backfield really well. Tell me what are some things that you feel when you read a defense? You said you study film. What are some things you're hoping to expose in the defense coming up this week?
Really, their ability to cover and their endurance.
Yeah. Now, you had a big week last week. I wouldn't be surprised they try and add another safety, put maybe 7, 8 in the box here. How do you handle when a defense is starting to scheme against you as a running back? Do you put more trust in yourself, your linemen, the play calling? What are some of the things that you've seen in the first 2 weeks?
It's really all three. I trust our play calling. I really have a good bond with our linemen and our receivers. I trust them to make the plays, whatever that does happen. And I have a really good bond with the coaching staff, so I trust that they'll put me in the right situations to make plays.
Okay. Well, you said you've been out recruiting your camp. You've been hearing from coaches here. Let's take this last 30 seconds, Myles. Look in the camera, and for coaches that maybe don't know you yet, haven't started recruiting yet, look in the camera and tell them why they should recruit you and what are you going to bring to their program and to that university.
I would bring work ethic, leadership, and there won't be anybody that will outwork me. I know that for a fact. I've had to work ever since I started playing this game, and I will work and work and work until you tell me to stop. I will always work.
That's a great response athletically. Tell us about from personal and academic level. What are you going to bring to the university? Because you know how important brand is and being a great ambassador at the university. Talk a little bit about that also.
Academically, I'll put the same effort into academics as much as I put into athletics, probably more into academics. I'll make sure that I'm on course to graduate, make sure that I'm doing everything that I can. If graduating early is a possibility, I'll do it. I'll put everything I can into academics and making sure that I add academic as well as athletic value to your program.
That's a great response. Myles, I'm excited, man. Really impressed with your interview skills. I love the grind that you're on right now, both in the classroom and on the field. I know you're going to have a great year. Love to follow up with you later this season as we get close to the end of the season. I'm sure you guys will be going to playoffs and kind of get an update on where you are recruiting-wise and figure out where you're going to sign on signing day. So good luck to you. Tell your family I said hi, and you'll probably see me on the sidelines here pretty soon.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Myles. Have a good night.
You too.